Hello and welcome to the Formula One Father and Son podcast. I'm the father in the title, Graham Miller, and here's my son, Toby.
Hello.
And I've just realised I don't have the full title. Oh, yeah, quality.
Yeah.
The Formula One Moët-et-Chandon Belgian Grand Prix 2026.
That's a good one.
You kind of feel like Monaco should have been sponsored by Moët-et-Chandon, really.
Who was Monaco sponsored by?
Oh, it was Louis Vuitton or something.
That's close enough, isn't it? I mean, it's not a million miles away, is it? Yeah, it was Louis Vuitton.
Oh. Damn, my brain is working better than normal.
Yeah.
Before we hit record, Toby and I were talking about the other sport of racing on wheels that we follow, which is the Tour de France.
Yes.
And this is not spoilers, it all happened a few days ago. But you've got about 180 riders in the Tour de France.
Yeah.
And 2 guys in the top 10 have dropped out because they had an accident and broke their collarbone.
Yeah.
And we were just like, okay, I mean, I don't know how you'd equate the top 10 to out of 180 to Formula One, but it's kind of almost unthinkable in any other sport. You know, it's the premier event. I know there is a cycling world championship, but it's the one that everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
And 2 of the top 10, I think it was 2, and then number 7 got promoted to 6, and then he dropped out as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I think you said, if Russell and Norris had an accident and had a broken leg and were just, oh no, we'll see you in 2027.
Yeah, it is kind of unthinkable in other sports.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them going downhill at 70 kph.
Yeah, 60, 70.
And they're wearing lycra and a bit of polystyrene strapped to their head. It is.
Well, it's insanity, really, isn't it?
Possibly even more insane than Formula One drivers.
I think it probably is. I think they're very different things.
Yeah.
Just given what we've seen, cycling is arguably more dangerous, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because there's more people doing it. But I'm sure we've had some, cycling's had some deaths in the last couple of years.
Not in the Tour de France, but yeah, there have been. I mean, recently Jonas Vingegaard, who was second and dropped out with a broken collarbone, had a crash in the Basque country a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He shattered his collarbone that time, cracked 7 ribs, broke a finger, but he punctured both lungs.
Yeah.
And apparently he sat up at the side of the road, couldn't breathe, tried to breathe and coughed up blood and thought, oh, maybe I'm going to die here.
Yeah.
And then he got back on his bike 3 months later and had another go.
And I think he came second in that year's Tour de France.
Mm.
Which is also completely barking.
And then you get people like Chris Froome, who was out on a reconnaissance run and had an accident so bad it actually ended his whole career.
Yeah.
It's just... Anyway.
It's very strange.
In the Formula One.
Yeah, the actual point of the podcast.
I can't find it now. I follow several Facebook pages of varying quality about Formula One. And one of them, there's this Italian who writes for it. I've been looking for it and I can't find it. I think it's Beto Vigliani or something. And most of what he writes is filled with you can almost hear him getting excited. It's hyperbole about rocket ships and how incredibly good this person is or how awfully this went, and
yeah,
often with AI cartoons. But he put one up at the beginning of Belgium, and it was Pierre Gasly laying a wreath where Antoine Hubert died.
Yeah.
And all he said was, this is Pierre Gasly doing what he does every year at Belgium. He's paying tribute to a friend of his who died while racing in Formula 2. And then he said, oh, and the guys in the background were all taking photographs of him because that's their job too.
Yeah.
And I suddenly had an awful lot more respect for him, really. This...
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it. Well, for this random barking Italian man on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, I love what he writes, and it is very silly, but there was just suddenly a moment of kind of honesty from him, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think most of the drivers go for a jog around the track with Pierre Gasly as well at Belgium.
Yeah, I think he actually organises that, does Gasly.
Yeah. Which, again, is not actually... I mean, okay, they're all super fit. But it's a 3-mile jog.
Well, I mean, it's Spa as well.
Yeah.
It's actually the longest circuit on the calendar.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it didn't happen at Monaco. That would have been a lot easier, probably. Actually, can you imagine jogging up Eau Rouge?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Properly steep.
Yeah, not only is it one of the longest, it's also got huge elevation changes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster.
But, yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for the circuit map now.
Yeah.
It is. So I have to admit I was on holiday and came home on the Saturday, so I'll rely on Toby. Not much happened in the free practice. I've noticed free practices tend not be very indicative.
Well, FP1, I watched at work because on my lunch break. So, well, I had it on my phone. I was only half paying attention.
Yeah.
Jack Crawford was out there, and he was only 6 seconds off the pace.
He's in an Aston Martin.
Yeah. That was pretty much it. I thought there were some crashes. I thought, if we have a look at the report, maybe... Yes, Gasly crashed in FP2 at turn 13. And then in FP3, Hamilton crashed, I think, at the same place.
Oh, yeah. No, I did see the...
He wrecked his rear wing.
Yeah, you're right. Gasly and Hamilton crashed. I don't think they were these weird new battery-powered car crashes. I think they just went a little bit too far and took a bit too much curb and lost the back end.
Yeah. I think Hamilton's looks a lot more dramatic than it was, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I think
he skids across the gravel, takes loads of energy out, and then sort of brushes the wall. So there's like dust and debris everywhere, but...
I think Gasly pretty much destroyed his car, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Hamilton's, there was like a minor question of, is he getting back out for quali? But he did, so...
Yeah.
Not too bad, but that's about all that happened in practice that was interesting.
I mean, it seems to me that from practice that it's nothing to choose between Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren and Mercedes now. They all seem to be...
yeah, any one of the top 8 drivers could be P1 in practice.
Yeah.
And everybody would go, oh my goodness, look, finally it's Hadjar's time to win the championship.
Yeah.
And then just end up being Mercedes in quali.
How many races have we got left?
Well, that is a bit of a question, actually.
I mean, assuming they don't drag Bahrain and Saudi out of nowhere.
Well, there are 12 scheduled on the calendar. That includes Qatar and Abu Dhabi, and I've heard that those are not certain because the situation in the Middle East is still pretty bad. So it's less that... I kind of highly doubt that they'd bring Saudi in, especially now. Or the other one you said, Bahrain.
Yeah, so there's like 10 to 12 left.
However, I've also heard whispers, or read them online, that they're going to bring back Malaysia instead.
I've heard whispers about Turkey as well, but...
I mean, honestly, I'd take both of those over Qatar and Abu Dhabi. They're both awesome tracks.
I don't think it's kind of like, a school fete where the playing fields are flooded and you just go to somewhere else.
No. They still have to be homologated. They still have to... Like, they're trying to figure it out now.
Well, yeah,
for races that are going to happen in November.
You have to have the right grade of track.
Yeah.
But then you also have to like sell tickets and get all the transport set up, and
I mean, logistically, it's an enormous job. But I would love to see Malaysia and Turkey on the calendar.
yeah. So
Anyway, there's at least 10 races guaranteed to happen.
plus a few sprints.
At which point we're actually at halfway.
So Antonelli's on 204 points.
Yeah.
So by my calculations, anybody from Lance Stroll onwards could win.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go down the betting office with some cash and get odds on Lance Stroll to win the next 10 races in a row while Antonelli DNFs.
Well, Aston Martin are bringing their upgrades to Hungary, so you never know.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
But yeah, technically, it's not over.
Theoretically.
Mm.
The championship is not over.
Yeah, I did see qualifying.
Saw the end of it, I think. You were driving back.
Yeah, I had it on BBC Sounds through the car stereo.
Yeah, I've done that. Coming home from work to catch the sprint quali, I think, last time.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm just looking at it now. We're going through this quite fast because it was a very exciting, complicated race.
Well, we've actually prepared this time.
Yeah.
Which is a bit rare for us.
Well, no, I think we should get a bit more organised, and I think it was one of those races where you really have to kind of be on top of things. The first thing to note going into qualifying is that I'm going to struggle here now. 5 drivers had engine-related grid penalties, at which point I'm going to hold my hand up and say, I was wrong.
How are you wrong?
I thought this would start to affect the last third of the season, not actually start happening before the first half was over.
I think it's new engine regs. It was bound to happen.
Oh yeah, I thought last 7, 8 races it would be like...
To be fair, I think it still could.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it's going to stop now, is it?
Because that's only a quarter of the grid, not even.
So, let's see who I can remember. Norris and Hadjar.
Yeah. Hadjar got 30 places.
I thought it was 20, but okay.
No, someone else got 20. I've got the list up here.
Okay, so it was Norris and Hadjar.
Yeah.
And as a rule, if you go over 20, you go to the back of the grid anyway.
Yeah.
Was it one or both of the Aston Martins?
It was both Astons, yeah.
And I think it was a Haas, wasn't it?
No.
Who was it?
Sainz.
Sainz. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was listening to it in the car and I actually texted ahead and got your brother to put it on our TV so I could... It was actually perfect timing. So I came home from holiday and they'd done one run in Q3. And you know that bit where they're all just sitting in their pits with soft tyres in?
Yeah, waiting for the last runs.
Yeah, that's when I walked in, so it was absolutely...
To be perfectly honest, that's kind of all you need to watch of quali.
Well, not quite. You need to watch that.
Yeah.
And you need to reassure yourself that the top 8 are all in Q3.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, there's been like weird like Q1s and Q2s where Max has had a crash or Lewis has stuck it in a wall or...
And also, it's interesting to see which of the midfielders sneak through this time.
Yeah, because there's always 2 slots.
Because this time...
Yeah.
And there is a big difference between qualifying and the starting grid, so I'll go off quali.
Yeah.
You'd expect both Racing Bulls, but actually Bortoletto snuck through, replacing Liam Lawson.
Yeah, and Arvid Lindblad.
Yeah, Lindblad was up there as well.
So, Lawson was on a 46.120 and Bortoletto was on a 46.082.
So is that 400ths?
Yeah.
Again, ridiculous.
I mean, I saw an article about who's in charge of Racing Bulls? Is it Alan Permain?
Yeah, I think so.
And he was talking about Liam Lawson, and he was kind of like, you know, when he came to us from Red Bull, nobody really said anything about the way he'd been treated because we just wanted to focus. And I think they were kind of quietly saying, I think he's just done a really good job. and we've kind of rebuilt his confidence without actually saying that's what we did.
Yeah.
But they were just like, look, just focus on the racing, get in the car, drive it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And you kind of get people like Lawson and Stroll and, people who are stuck down the back end. Often not for their fault, because the car is sometimes not up to it. But then you've got to remember they are still the very top tier.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you said Stroll, but I think people often forget that Stroll has had some genuinely amazing races.
Oh, yeah, and
he's got like a handful of podiums and a pole position.
Isn't he like top 3 youngest ever podiums?
I think he actually might be the youngest ever podium, because he was like 17.
Yeah.
Or 18. He was with Williams in his like first ever year.
Yeah, something like that. He is.
Like,
I can hear your keyboard.
I still think at this point in his career he probably would have been out if it weren't for his dad's money.
Yeah.
But I think he still deserved to actually get there, and I think he did a decent job in his first 5 years or so.
Yeah, and I think his real problem is he hasn't been consistent enough.
Second youngest, sorry.
I said top 3, so yeah.
Well, guess who the first was?
Probably Max.
Yeah. Only by 11 days, though.
What? Who's third? Is it Antonelli?
Yeah. By 30 odd days.
That does figure.
And Max's was his first victory as well. The Spanish Grand Prix.
Cool.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, you see, because I was travelling, I didn't realise at the time that Hadjar was taking grid penalties.
Yeah.
So I was really baffled by... I thought it was back to the Christian Horner days of Red Bull, because every time they went out, Hadjar sacrificed his hot lap to give Max
the
Verstappen.
toe.
I think it was an epic toe down the Kemmel straight.
I think he actually gave him a massive toe down the back straight.
What's the difference between the back straight and the Kemmel straight?
Let me look up the track map, because Spa's such an old track, they've all got names.
Yeah.
It's the straight that goes in towards the bus stop chicane.
Isn't the bus stop in...
It's Sector 3.
Isn't the bus stop in Monaco?
No, it's the last chicane. It's just called the chicane at the end of the track.
Right, yeah, from 16 all the way through to 20.
Yeah, so I can't see my microphone's in the way. From Courbe Paul Frere, Blanchimont, and then the bus stop. I think between 18 and 19 was where he gave Max the big toe.
Yeah.
My guess is because he was trying to compensate for a lack of energy, probably.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense. Because again, if you look, like, probably from turn 13 to the bus stop, you're probably not braking.
Well,
and I think the drivers were saying this was one of the worst tracks for the regen problems.
Well, yeah, if you look at it, La Source is the hairpin just after the start-finish straight.
Yeah.
But then if you actually look at the curves, all the way up through Radillon and Eau Rouge, and then you got the Kemmel straight all the way down to Les Combes, which is most of Sector 1, like a third of the lap.
Yeah.
It's pretty much flat, or it should be flat out.
Yeah, no braking at all. Or lifting, allegedly.
And I think this is what people have been complaining about with the new regs, like drivers, I mean, is that tracks like Silverstone, Spa, and Japan have been mentioned.
Yeah.
Where they've got these epic corners where you can take them flat out, but you really have to balance, and, it's a driver's skill circuit.
Yeah.
And now, you can do that, but then you'll run out of power.
Yeah, and the car will just start super clipping for you and slow you down.
Yeah.
I think Monza's going to be bad as well.
Yeah, that has been mentioned. They're not looking forward to it.
Bad for Ferrari as well, because Ferraris are a bit down on power.
Although they have done well at high power circuits like here and in...
Yeah, they've been... Well, we'll get to it, but...
Yeah, so I got a bit confused because Hadjar did not set a time in Q3 because he was going to be 20th anyway.
Yeah, so, 22nd.
Sorry, yeah, 20th.
Or 20th. God knows. I think you just have to watch qualifying and basically forget about it and then just watch the grid at the start of the race to actually see where people ended up.
You kind of get an idea. I mean, Kimi Antonelli got pole.
Yeah.
Max was second. We know Norris has got a 10-place drop, so he was third down to 13th.
He was on pole for a bit provisionally.
Yeah, he was. Again, the McLaren seems to have really come alive.
Well,
and
kind
then
of.
you had Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, and Piastri.
Pretty standard
And
lineup.
then Lindblad up into 8th is.
Well, Hadjar didn't. But also, yeah, Lindblad comfortably outperforming Lawson.
I think Lindblad's coming out as best of the rest, isn't he?
I think, well, there are no other rookies this year, are there? I was going to say best rookie, but he's up there with the others.
Yeah.
Like, he's properly good. Kind of just hope that by the time he gets to Red Bull, the culture there's a bit more chill and he can actually do well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means Max leaving or not, but...
Well, that's always the rumours, isn't it?
But then, I think Hadjar's doing well there as well, so...
Have you seen the... I'm going to get a bit ahead now. There's an interview going around with Antonelli. I think Antonelli, Max, and Lando Norris are all being interviewed.
That's probably top 3 quali interview then, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it would be. And they're saying, oh, do you realise this is like half a home race because both Max Verstappen and Lando Norris are half Belgian?
Yeah.
And Kimi Antonelli's properly freaked out. He's like, I didn't know you were both half Belgian. That's really weird.
Yeah.
But you see, I heard that if Norris got pole position, it wouldn't actually go on his list of pole positions because he'd have to start 13th. No, 11th.
Yeah, they do make a distinction between, what is it, finishing qualifying in first and starting from pole position.
Yeah.
I think you get the pole position from your car starting from that position.
Yeah.
So, like... Yeah, I don't know, it's complicated.
I think if Norris had been fastest and Antonelli was second, which looked likely for a time, I think Antonelli would have gone on the list as having pole position.
Yeah. But, I mean, 99% of the time, it's the same thing, so they just treat it like that.
Yeah. So the starting grid...
Yeah.
First row was Antonelli Verstappen, which was actually about as many fireworks as we expected.
Yeah, they've been, like... We were promised that in Monaco and it never happened.
Yeah.
So the commentators were like hyping it up and it was actually pretty awesome in fairness.
And then Russell and Leclerc on the next row, so you've got 2 Mercedes line astern actually with Norris out of the way.
Yeah.
And Hamilton down in 5th, which actually is pretty...
That's, I think, again, I've seen things like articles saying that because he had his car rebuilt, the balance was a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the same car he'd set up through practice because he crashed at the end of FP3.
I mean, not just articles. I've seen that Hamilton himself actually said it was my fault. I crashed at the end of FP3. They rebuilt my car. It never quite felt the same, and then qualified, followed on into qualifying, and he actually admitted that one crash kind of trickled through the whole everything that followed.
And then same with what Russell said about his crash with Hamilton. Spoilers. Russell said he shouldn't have been there in the first place because he had energy problems.
Yeah.
Hamilton
anyway,
probably shouldn't have been there as well.
Yeah. Hamilton and Piastri on the third row.
Yeah.
And then Lindblad technically starting 7th.
Yeah.
It was lovely to see Lindblad, Bortoletto and Lawson and Gasly all on the top 10.
That is cool, yeah. The top team should take more engine penalties.
Yeah.
Although we're getting a little bit into reverse grid territory there, aren't we?
Yeah. Hulkenberg was 12th, which is a long way behind his teammate, actually.
Yeah, Bortoletto's kind of had the measure of Hulkenberg. Kind of wonder if Hulkenberg's not getting a little bit old, actually.
Yeah.
He's 38. That's not young.
It's not like
and he's
not
got
so old.
No, but Alonso's Alonso. Like, he doesn't really count. Even same with Hamilton, like, you know, I'm pretty sure that there are drivers who are younger than Hulkenberg is now who've retired in the past.
Well, Vettel was the one, didn't he? He retired in his mid-30s, early 30s?
Yeah, Rosberg, I think, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vettel's only 1 year older than Hulkenberg.
Yeah?
Actually, no, he's only, I'm going back and forth. We're between their birthdays. Vettel's only, like, a month and a half older than Hulkenberg.
I mean, Vettel left for ecological reasons.
But also, I think his family, and Hulkenberg does have a daughter. And he's got his podium now.
Yeah? You think he might be retiring soon?
Well, I think people might be surprised if he does, but they maybe shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I think he's got another year or two in him, but he's getting towards...
I think I want to see how well Audi plays out, because, I mean, they're making their own engine, and they were 8th and 12th on a power circuit. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, actually, that's very encouraging. They're kind of creeping up to... Well, there's maybe not RB Haas, or RB Alpine speed, but they could probably get up to Williams and Haas in terms of the championship.
And what did they used to be? Racing Bulls?
Who? Audi. Sauber. Historically, one of those, like, beloved back market teams that everybody loves, but they were never actually very good.
No. Racing Point, I meant. That was it, not Racing Bulls.
No, Racing Point is Aston Martin now.
Yeah.
Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah, so after all those penalties, we saw Bottas starting in 17th and Perez in 18th for Cadillac.
I think that is their highest...
Oh, it's got to be.
Start.
Only because Sainz... It went... I don't know how they worked this out. Sainz, Stroll, Hadjar and Alonso was the order at the back.
Well, Stroll, Sainz and Norris got 10 place drops. So Norris actually only ended up 13th because he qualified... And, you know, when you're actually that fast and you only got a 10 place drop, it is worth pushing.
Yeah.
A third is quite good for McLaren, pace-wise.
Yeah. It must be quite annoying because Piastri was down in 7th, so did a much better job.
Yeah, Piastri, I think, has been struggling a bit with these new cars recently.
Yeah.
Although McLaren have also been a bit weird this year.
Well...
And Piastri's done an interview saying that if something's a little bit off, you lose like 50% of your power. And it's not in the control of the drivers at all. It's just, it can seem random.
Yeah.
Because it's all software.
And they've always had this complaint that Mercedes write the control software and the algorithms. So if they put that into a simulator, they can predict what the car will do.
Yeah.
And all the customer teams who are McLaren, Alpine and Aston Martin?
No, Aston's Honda, it's Williams.
All the customer teams don't have access to that, what they claim is proprietary or trade secret software.
Yeah.
So they put in a set of inputs, not knowing what they expect the output to be, which means they're using far more simulation cycles because, you know, there's things where Mercedes can put it in and go, oh, that's never going to work, we won't try that.
Yeah.
Whereas people like McLaren have to test it anyway.
Yeah, it is. And there's something weird that the Mercedes can do that the other drivers can't, where they dump all their energy at the end.
Especially for qualifying, they can dump like all the energy.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, and I don't quite understand this, the reason that Norris took a 10 place drop was because he changed the control electronics that go with the battery pack.
Yeah.
And apparently this is shades of your Windows computer not restarting. Apparently there was a software update, and the only way to get the update to install was to change the battery pack.
Right.
At which point you're kind of like...
You almost wonder if that's like Mercedes sabotaging them.
Yeah. Or, I was going to say, you kind of wonder, like, give them a V8 and a stack of 8 carburetors and just go.
It's getting a bit like that, isn't it?
I mean, I know I'm like, the old boomery voice. I'm not quite, actually. I'm Gen X, but...
Yeah.
Oh, back in my day, people died every other week. And
yeah, survivorship bias much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but... I still think the racing is decent. But it is... I think the drivers hate the cars as well now.
Yeah.
So I think the backlash is getting much more pronounced.
Yeah. Come on. Can we talk about the first lap?
Yes, I suppose we should.
So...
Should we start at the front of the grid? Lap 1.
Yeah, 'cause that's where it all kicked off at first. So, yeah, something happened. We're not entirely sure what. But Russell got swamped.
Yeah.
They all got off the line fairly smartly. Max made a lightning start and got into the lead.
I think he overtook him through Eau Rouge. Which is nuts. Just once
Max.
again watching it on my phone.
Yeah. But
yeah,
then
they'll get away fine.
they came onto the Kemmel Straight and 3 cars went straight past Russell. And
Yeah.
he ended up going into Lake Coombe on the outside of Hamilton. And this is really clear on all the pictures and the footage.
God, yeah,
Hamilton
he gets
was-
swamped by even McLaren's there.
Yeah, up Piastri that would be.
Yeah.
And you can actually see what happens. Hamilton's tucked up behind the Antonelli-Verstappen fight. His front wing unloads going through Lake Coombe because the airflow is knackered.
Yeah, dirty air.
And he drifts out wide and tags, I think it's front left to rear right on Russell.
Yeah, sounds right.
And Russell just spins off into the gravel and he's done.
Which again, we've said this every time there's one of those wheel-to-wheel contacts.
Mm.
Very unlucky that was even a DNF.
Yeah.
Because if it had been tyre wall to tyre wall, it might have been a little screech and a puff of smoke, and that was it.
Well, sometimes you even just bounce the car up in the air and then it lands again.
But that time, Russell, I think his whole rear suspension got torn to shreds.
Yeah.
And he was in the gravel, so that was it. Race over.
And, could it just as easily have been race over for
For
Lewis
Hamilton.
Hamilton?
Yeah, if he'd
Can't
bent his
really
front
be doing
suspension
stuff
in.
like that.
No, it was...
And, I mean, George Russell gets an awful lot of stick for complaining about things and whinging and the way he deals with the stewards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I saw the interview afterwards where we heard it first and then we actually saw it when the podium celebrations came on.
Yeah.
And they said, well, what did you make of that? Yeah, I'm just watching it. Yeah, he just literally just spins around.
Yeah.
And he said, well, it was a racing incident, wasn't it? He said, the problem is, I came out onto the Kemmel Straight and I had no power.
Yeah.
And I got swamped. He said, I shouldn't have been there. He said, it's not Lewis's fault. You could tell he was trying as hard as he could to get over. He said, maybe Lewis could have gone a bit harder, right? Left? Right. He said, maybe Lewis could have gone a bit further over, but...
But that wasn't... It wasn't Lewis being reckless or dangerous, really. It was just unfortunate.
No, and you could hear it in his voice.
He was more upset about not having any power.
Yeah. And they said, well, what does this mean for your championship? And you could just see him trying not to cry, actually. He just looked off into the distance and said, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Because I think he's told the team about it all year long.
Yeah.
And presumably they've just not really said anything or done anything.
No, what I've heard, and this is kind of, I don't know how true it is, but it kind of makes sense. The cars learn on the fly while they're being driven.
Yeah.
But what that means is that if you go into, say, a particular corner on a lap a bit faster and the back end slides, then the car's going to adjust how much energy it harvests and where it's going to dump it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go round and you're absolutely consistent every time, hitting your braking spots, keeping the car going,
Yeah.
then it's going to kind of develop in a much more consistent way. But that kind of tracks with what you've been saying about what Russell said, actually what a lot of the drivers have said about how you just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not predictable and it's not up to them, really.
No, they feel like there's not a huge amount they can do to affect it.
Yeah, because it's not like they break a meter later in that corner and get a better exit. It's like one lap they arrive and that happens. And another lap the deployment is different and they've got no power.
Yeah. And it might even be something as simple as they capture a bit of debris on the track, or there's a crosswind that wasn't there the previous lap.
I think that's what caught out Piastri in the first race, where the car just got it didn't respond the way he was expecting it to, and he just spun.
Yeah.
I think Norris has said that his car at one point got confused and just had loads of weird numbers come up on the steering wheel.
It's not the future of racing, is it?
Not really. I hope not anyway.
Hamilton said after the race he picked up some damage as well.
Yeah.
Which didn't help.
Also, Antonelli got back past Verstappen down the straight.
Yeah, a good old deployment thing where Verstappen got greedy and used up too much power, and then...
Yeah, we've seen it. That's a great classic kind of overtaking battle thing.
Yeah.
Then there was a safety car for George.
I think there was a virtual safety car to get Russell out of the way, yeah.
No, it was a full Bernd Meyerlander safety car. So I'm watching adverts now.
This was the, genius bit of strategy. Red Bull, all the guys at the back, like Hadjar, started on hard tyres, obviously, to go deep into the race.
Yeah.
Red Bull pulled Isaac Hadjar in onto mediums on the first lap.
Yeah.
Which kind of seems counterintuitive, because he's now shuffled to the back of the pack.
Yeah.
Then they pulled him in on lap 2, still under the safety car.
Mm-hmm.
And put him back out on hards.
And then that was it for his race.
Yeah, actually, if you look at it, he did go another pit stop on lap 20.
But that sort of theoretically kind of was it, really, wasn't it? He could have gone to the end of the race because he fulfilled his obligation to run 2 different compounds in the same race.
Yeah, he picked that box. So what it actually meant was all the strategists were free.
Yeah.
They could work out whatever tyre compound he needed, whenever he needed it. There were no restrictions on them. It was brilliant.
It was good stuff, yeah.
Probably one of the best bits of kind of strategy that we've seen for a long time.
Yeah.
So at the time, it looked...
It was baffling to come in from hards on lap 2 onto mediums.
Yeah.
But then...
Both...
Yeah, they almost cheated the system.
Well, it's not cheating if it works.
I know, that's classic Formula 1, isn't it? It's letter of the law.
Yeah, it's been done before. Both Cadillacs and both Asses also came in on lap 1.
Yeah, you would. There was a tangle between Piastri and Leclerc.
Yeah. Oh, right. Last thing about the Hamilton-Russell crash.
Yes.
Hamilton picked up a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, he did. Even though Russell himself and all the commentators said that's a racing incident.
I mean, I think they said it's first lap. They said that Hamilton had nowhere to go, which is why it would normally be a 10-second or a drive-through. That's why they only gave him a 5. In actual fact, I think it was much more likely to be what I call a Max Verstappen penalty.
Which is?
Well, Max had this habit before it was banned of just either diving up the inside for the overtake or somebody tries to overtake him on the outside. And he carried too much speed into the corner on the inside. And then just let the car drift wide and punt the person on the outside off into the gravel.
Yeah, he did that a lot, 2021.
And I think that's why they said, well, no, you've got to leave a car's width and you've actually got to attempt to make the corner.
Yeah, they tightened up the driving standards rules.
And I think the thing is that, even if you say, well, I wasn't in control because I was following another car, that just opens the door for somebody like Max to just pile it in too fast and go, I didn't make the corner, I just slid out wide, I'm really sorry my opponent got.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And I also think the stewards, whether you agree with it or not, I think they look at the consequences as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, if Russell had kept going with a minor bit of damage, it probably doesn't get a penalty.
Or, and I'm not being mean here, but if somebody like, who was up around there, Piastri or Verstappen, who at the moment are 6th and 7th in the championship, have been punted out.
You think they wouldn't care?
Well, no, they wouldn't care, but I don't think it'd be seen as quite such a major thing as the person who's probably got the best chance of catching Antonelli.
Yeah, he's a championship protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do see what you mean.
When did Leclerc have a go at Piastri?
I think it was lap 8.
There's no pit stops around lap 8. I think they just threw out a VSC for it.
There was a VSC at some point for... I don't think we ever saw what it was. But that one was pretty clear cut because Piastri comes up alongside. Going into the corner, Leclerc has the corner, but he just drifts left into him. And Piastri is on the curb, so he has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Piastri lost a bit of barge board.
I think the reason I've seen...
And also, Leclerc didn't get a penalty for it at all.
Yeah, the reason for that I've seen is because Piastri wasn't as far alongside Leclerc as Russell was alongside Hamilton.
No, well, Russell was actually ahead slightly.
Yeah.
Because it was his rear wheel, whereas Piastri wasn't ahead of Leclerc at any point.
Yeah, so it was technically Russell's corner.
Well, Leclerc's corner.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. We're talking the same thing in different directions.
Yes, you're right. It was both of theirs corners.
Russell had the corner and got punted out, whereas Leclerc had the corner and had a right to defend it.
Still.
Oh, yeah, they were talking about rain, but nothing ever happened.
Oh, yeah, there were lots of, gratuitous radar shots of big blue splodges, and then it was the most bone-dry race in F1 history.
And they did point out what you've said, there's been no wet races under these regs.
I'm trying to think what the best chance would be, actually. I guess we'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm reading the highlights now. Oh yeah, proper safety car. Race started again on lap 5.
I think then the Piastri stuff was kind of the end of the main action.
Yeah,
for a bit. It did get a bit crazy later on.
Yeah, it was very kind of... it was very technical in a way, because I think there were a couple of accidents, like the Leclerc one. But then, because it was after the safety car, they kept throwing out small VSCs when all the main protagonists had just gone past the pit lane entrance.
Yeah,
and
which
then under a VSC,
I can understand.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a situational, we just need to get this debris off. It's not like someone stopped.
Yeah.
So doing it either when there's a gap in the traffic or trying to minimise the actual effect it has on the race, I can kind of get behind that.
I mean, it's always been part of it.
Anti-Abu Dhabi 2021.
Yeah, I mean, it's always struck me that safety cars kind of have an influence on the race, and there's no...
Well, they massively do, yeah.
And there's no legal way...
Well, then you get into, Crashgate situation.
Yeah, there's no kind of... Actually, I figured out one way in which you could make them completely fair.
Yeah.
If the technology was there, you could actually report the pre-safety car gaps back to the cars. And then they would crawl up to the start-finish line. So, the leader would go across at full chat. And then the guy number 2 would approach the start-finish line. The light would go green on his dash when he was, say, 4.5 seconds back. And he would go, so he could restart the race with the same gaps.
Yeah. I think in some ways that's what they wanted the VSC to be.
Yeah.
It kind of is, but you can game it, and also I think it plays havoc with the deployment nowadays and regeneration.
Again.
But yeah, I don't think there's any way to make it perfectly fair.
No. Yeah, Perez broke his suspension just randomly.
It just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there were lots of pit stops, and man, by lap 19, Hadjar was already up in 7th.
Yeah, I mean, Hadjar had... Yes, he had, like, really clever strategy. But the drive he put in to do that was incredible.
Yeah, he's been quite good. Like, he's a run of 6-point scoring races.
Well, you consider Hadjar was down in 20th when he started?
I think he started 21st. Not that, like, the Astons and Cadillacs really counted as proper...
competition.
No. But still.
And Norris was in 13th, and he finished ahead of Norris.
Yeah, he did. That is actually distinctly impressive.
Yeah.
I think the Red Bull, it was a good track for the Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, lap 20 there's a VSC. Okay, lap 20 there's a VSC.
Yep.
They double stack the Ferraris.
Yep.
Hamilton serves his 5-second penalty. I'm watching it. Puts the hard tyres on. Comes out of the pits. Is that the one where he nearly runs over the mechanic?
Oh, he didn't nearly. He ran him over.
Well, see, because I am put back in mind of that time in Bahrain with Raikkonen.
Yep.
And Raikkonen actually just snapped the guy's leg in half, pretty much.
Strangely, that's exactly what Lewis said. I can't remember if it was in the car or afterwards. He said, "Oh God, I hope it's not like Raikkonen."
I think it was afterwards. But that's...
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just checking the report to see...
Being that geeky, I did read the steward's decision.
Yes.
So Lewis is told box. He comes in and says, "Can I have some front wing?"
Yeah.
Apparently there's a guy, and I mean, how good is this as a job title? There's a super controller.
Nice.
But apparently the super controller didn't relay this information correctly around the team, and the penalty threw them off as well. So basically, he comes in, everybody waits 5 seconds, which is an added stress on the pit stop. They swap out the tyres, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And then the front wing request has been passed down to the mechanics, but not to the guy who's got his finger on the big green button.
Yes.
So you've got two things happening. You've got the guy who presses the button, the light goes green. And unfortunately for the mechanic, he was looking at what I presume is like an Allen key in his hand. And he walked straight out in front of Lewis's car.
Yeah, to try and adjust the wing.
Yeah, because he's heading for the front wing. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
Lewis just goes.
Yeah. They said they'd investigate it after the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Lewis's only pit stop.
Yeah, it was.
And the decision actually said they took all of this into account. They fined the team. And we could have got a fairly hefty penalty from it.
Yeah.
They said,
I don't know if Raikkonen got a penalty for when he...
Oh, I don't know.
I'm looking it up now. That's properly obscure knowledge.
But the steward's decision also said it would be unfair to impose a penalty at this point because it actually didn't help his race.
Yeah.
He didn't get... Sorry, no, what did they say? He didn't gain a sporting advantage. That's the way they put it, isn't it?
Yeah, but if he had gained a sporting advantage by driving into one of his own mechanics, then they'd have penalised him.
Well, it's the unsafe release.
Yeah, so getting in front of another car is what they mean.
So if he'd pushed another car into a wall to get ahead, that would be penalised.
So Raikkonen just stopped in the pit lane and retired the car.
Mm.
Which I guess is fair enough because I don't know if they have reserve mechanics to do pit stops and stuff.
Also, if he's hit somebody that hard, it might very well have damaged the car.
Yeah, I think it's just the best thing to do in that case is just to, know, because they probably their focus was on getting the guy to hospital. They didn't want to focus on
the race.
Oh yeah, Vettel couldn't do his pit stop.
Oh man!
So Vettel had to go 30% longer than the lifespan of the tyre.
Because they had to get everything set up for.
He still won. Vettel did, but he. Yeah, I don't know how many laps he did on that tyre, but that's really weird. Anyway.
Back in Belgium 2026.
Yeah, 8 years later.
Hamilton actually stopped, made sure the guy was clear, and then went again, so it really did compromise his race.
And that was already a double stacked penalty stop, so he was stationary for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and he didn't get the front wing adjustment that he wanted.
Yeah, that too, because...
Given that the car was already out of balance from the accident he had in FP3.
When you consider the race that Lewis had, which was a nightmare,
yeah,
the fact that he came P4 is kind of amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
although,
it all kind of settled down.
Piastri had damage, looking at the drivers behind him.
Yeah.
Piastri had damage, and Hadjar and Norris had penalties before the race. So,
and Russell was out.
So it was actually kind of exactly that middle ground of not quite fighting for the win like the front guys, but not as bad off as the others.
I mean, the real excitement at the end of the race was... Well, Norris got stitched up by a really bad pit stop as well.
Yeah,
he just never seemed to come into the pits when there was a VSC or a safety car.
And then a sticky wheel gun, I think.
Yeah, back left just wouldn't come off and then wouldn't go back on.
Although at that point he'd already been passed by both Leclerc and Antonelli.
Yeah.
He was always kind of just an inherited race leader for the...
Yeah, I think Antonelli lost out on the pit stop timing as well.
Yeah, Leclerc got past him on the pit stops because it was the VSC that they brought him in.
Yeah. And, yeah, Max Verstappen seemed to drop off at the end of the race, didn't he? Because he was up there fighting for the lead, and then he ended up back in third.
10 seconds off. I think maybe pit stops just weren't... I think Leclerc got lucky with the pit stops.
Yeah, it was a very kind of...
With the VSC. But he also... Antonelli did not drive off into the sunset once he got past.
No, it was very...
Like, Leclerc finished 2 seconds behind him, which, given that there was no safety car or anything at the end, is pretty close.
And I mean, given... Well, let's run through the finishing order first. Antonelli won.
Yeah.
Rather embarrassingly puts him within 2 race wins of his teammate.
Yeah, total.
Yeah.
But also... his first race win since Monaco, he had this little drought.
Yeah.
But now that's, I think, quite significant mentally for him.
Yeah. And then Leclerc and Verstappen filled out the podium. Hamilton, as we said, came fourth from Piastri, Hadjar and Norris.
Bortoletto, 8th.
Well, what's really interesting is they said that they would investigate the pit lane incident after the race.
Yeah.
I've got the times up here. Hamilton was 17.245 back. If he got a 5-second penalty, he'd have dropped down to 5th behind Piastri.
Yeah.
And actually, Piastri had this relayed to him over the radio, so he was keeping him within 5 seconds.
Which he did.
Yeah. But if he got a 10-second penalty, which is not unheard of...
He'd have been behind Norris, I think.
And gone down to 7th.
Yeah.
Which, given that he finished up in the Drivers' Championship 5 points ahead of Russell.
Well, if he'd been 7th, he'd have had 6 fewer points.
So it's it was
the difference between 2nd and 3rd for now.
It's a really odd feeling at the end of the race because you're like, you don't even know how the championship stands.
Yeah, but they didn't penalise him time-wise For that one, anyway.
No. Final points positions were Bortoletto, Lindblad, and Colapinto.
Yeah, Colapinto, who did a Schumacher-esque double overtake on the Kemmel Straight.
Yeah.
Which we saw on the live feed in a tiny little box on the timing tower.
Yeah.
Which was quite annoying.
Yeah, I've seen posts on Facebook, but also it's a fairly good point that actually, if you look at it, like you've got the top guys are 204, 159, 154, so that Russell-Hamilton fight's going to be worth watching.
Yeah.
Then you're back to like 126 and then 103. So when you get outside the top 8, Gasly on 42, Lawson on 39, and Lindblad on 22.
Yeah, it's quite tight. I mean, actually...
And Colapinto on 19 and Behrman on 18. I mean, that's...
Yeah, Lindblad, Colapinto, Behrman.
3 points.
3 points, 4 points.
Yeah.
It's tight in the midfield, especially because there's so few points available on a standard race.
4, 2 and 1 on this one.
But that's because of Russell as well.
Yeah, if there's like either a big accident or, a lot of technical problems at the front, that midfield battle could change really quickly.
Well, looking at this, we saw Monaco had 3 DNFs in the top 8.
Yeah.
And that's where we then got, Albon got points, Alonso got a point. Lindblad and Lawson were 6th and 7th, which is huge.
Yeah, didn't McLaren record a double DNS at one point?
Oh yeah, China.
Yeah.
And so did Bortoletto. In the first 2 races, there were 5 DNSs.
Yeah, Alpine and Racing Bulls are both on 61.
Oh god, yeah. They're actually tied.
And then Williams and Audi are on 11 and 10.
So the midfield is proper interesting.
Yeah.
And it's always changing, and to be honest, they're racing each other properly hard all the time.
Well, they have to be, don't they?
But it is kind of the better, it's more entertaining almost. But I think we've been saying that for years.
It looks more entertaining, but I can really get what people are saying about not exactly the purity of it, but the fact that you've got all these great tracks like Monza, Spa, Silverstone and Japan are the ones, Suzuka are the ones that really come to mind.
Yeah.
And the drivers are saying, well, they're not the same anymore.
Yeah. I do get that. I am starting to go off the regs a little bit, personally.
Yeah.
I think these last 2 tracks were 2 of the worst, though, for that.
But, I don't think it's even that. I think it's... For me, there's been too many odd, unexplainable accidents.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fun to see cars go wheel to wheel and pass each other, but then you kind of reach a point like where Verstappen bugs Antonelli. And you kind of think, was that actually pure driving skill? Is Verstappen a better driver?
Yeah.
Or did he just... And it turns out he just used too much power because almost immediately he gets retaken.
And then you see what happened to George.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true.
I think there's been too many of those kind of weird accidents that aren't down to like driver skill or anything.
Yeah. It's just the car didn't work properly.
Yeah.
And it didn't the deployment was knackered.
So I think the thing I'm really interested in looking for, I think will be interesting.
Yeah.
Will be what happens to Russell's mental state.
Yeah.
Because directly out of the gate, obviously when he never wanted to talk to anybody, he was like, I'm just numb to disappointment, I think was his actual phrase.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like somebody who's kind of like Hamilton in 21 after Brazil was just like, well, how can I win this? What do I have to do?
Yeah.
And he's also really angry apparently there was unbroadcastable radio message from Russell back to his engineer, just full of F words about the car and everything while he was in the gravel.
I saw it, but that was also in the car when he was crashed.
Yeah.
So that was straight away. He didn't say, what the effing hell was Hamilton doing, crashing into me.
Yeah.
Instantly he knew the issue was with the battery.
And the weird thing is, Toto Wolff said, at one point in free practice, I think Russell was a second behind Antonelli.
Yeah.
And then Toto said, well, he was losing, I think, 0.2, a quarter of a second in the corners. But a lot of it was just the power coming out onto the straights and when he ran out of power on the straights.
Yeah.
And he said, we just don't know why, we just investigated everything. And actually, if you look at their components, they actually have got some headroom to change things and not take penalties.
It is weird. But I've just been on Russell's Instagram.
Yeah.
And just the only post from all of the Spa weekend is just him knocked down, we get back up, no matter how many times. So many tough moments this year, but I will not stop fighting.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously afterwards where he's gone home, he's had a shower, he's, got his head together a bit.
Yeah, but I think I don't think he'll give up and be all like doom and gloom about it.
No. And I mean, the other way to look at it, and the way I would look at it is, he needs to make up 5 points per race weekend now.
Yeah.
Certainly even less than that if they get Turkey or Malaysia or Qatar or Bahrain?
Saudi and Bahrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back on the calendar. But, I mean, you say 5 point... Oh, Abu Dhabi as well.
Yeah.
But you say 5 points per weekend, and some of them are sprint weekends.
Yeah.
That's not sounding like a mountain to climb, is it?
No, it's very doable.
And obviously, if Hamilton made up 5 points a weekend, he'd be in the fight as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over, it's far from over.
No. But on the other hand, Antonelli's raced 10 times and won 6.
Yeah. But that Mercedes, there's something wrong with the Mercedes power unit, because he had the DNF as well. Russell's had 1 DNF from it already.
McLaren's have been plagued.
Yeah. I mean, Norris had like 2 DNFs in a row and a DNS.
Yeah.
It's not been great for them. So anything could happen. There's also, huge upgrades in Hungary as well.
Yeah, and then we got the summer break, so...
And there's this whole Macarena wings thing as well.
Yeah.
I think Ferrari is still running it, and they've brought an updated version to Hungary.
Have Red Bull stopped running it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, I heard about the old style. Yeah, I did read another comment. It might even have been from Toto, I'm not sure. They said, actually, if you look at it, Antonelli is, way, way wise beyond his years.
Yeah.
Because he went from, I think, a 66-point lead down to a 25-point lead over 3 races.
Yeah.
He had that weird front brake duct thing where he had to pit twice. And his reaction to that was, well, how many places can I make up?
Yeah.
He wasn't complaining or anything. He was just like, oh, problem, how do I fix it?
Yeah, he wanted to stay out to get even 2 or 3 points.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. Although, I can't remember where I saw it, but apparently the latest silly season rumours are that Ferrari might want Antonelli because he's Italian.
Yeah.
And Toto said, well, you're 8 years too late. We've sponsored him in karting.
That's fair.
We've built him up. We have made him. If you wanted an Italian driver, that's what you should have done.
Yeah. I think... I don't see him leaving Mercedes, Antonelli, even if
why would
Ferrari
he?
come knocking.
No. Oh.
What?
Everybody else be afraid.
Why?
Ferrari driver Lewis Hamilton has made clear that, quote, he really believes we can fight for the 2026 title and feels more focused than ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be unnerving, hasn't it?
Well, this year, like, the last 3 races, they've, okay, Austria was a bit rubbish, but the last 2 races, Ferrari have actually been second fastest car,
Yeah.
and not that far from Mercedes. Obviously, Leclerc won in Silverstone, but he was looking pretty close to winning in Belgium.
Yeah.
And Hamilton had a horrible race and still ended up 4th.
Well, from the end of FP3, he lost the setup. He had a horrible qualifying.
He crashed into George.
He had an accident and was carrying damage. He had a penalty. He had a compromised pit stop. He didn't get his wing adjusted.
And he still finished 4th.
Yeah.
But also, you almost think 2022 or 2023, he might have just given up and pulled over after hitting the mechanic.
Yeah.
Because there were some races and years where Hamilton was properly down and he was just like, let's just retire, we're too slow.
I think, was it last year where he said, I think Ferrari have made a mistake. They should get another driver.
Yeah, during qualifying one day.
Yeah.
But now he's still going, right?
Yeah.
He's not. I think he's started to shape the team as he wants them to be, and they're actually starting to come good. And Hamilton's happy and focused.
Yeah, I mean, happy and focused Hamilton is just the most terrifying thing.
Probably hasn't been this happy and focused since 2021.
Yeah.
Also, next race is Hungary. And Hungary is a Hamilton track, like, properly.
Yeah.
Like, to the extent that I think he's won it 8 times.
I'm fairly certain it's up there on his list of, oh my god, that's ridiculous.
It's like, obviously Britain, but then it's randomly Hungary's up there too. It's like driver to take most wins at a certain track. For some reason, he just loves it.
Oh, here we go. 2020, 19, 18, 16, 13, 12, 9. That's 7. 8, yeah.
Yeah, 8.
Yep.
7, 9, 12, 13, 16, 18, 19, 20.
The next best driver with 4 is Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, the third best is Senna.
He's won there 4 more times. No,
He's won
twice as
there
often.
more times than Schumacher and Senna combined.
Yeah, but it's just stats. What does that mean?
Okay, what about the fact that Hungary, unlike Spa and Silverstone, is not a power circuit? It's tight and twisty.
Yeah.
Which should suit Ferrari better, bearing in mind that Ferrari were also very good at the power tracks for some reason.
Yeah, that should be a good race, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I think Hamilton's kind of the low-key favourite to win.
Yeah.
And it would be good if he does. Unbiased, of course. Good for the championship.
I'm just having a quick look at our notes we made before we started. I think we kind of covered everything, haven't we?
Yeah?
I mean...
Hamilton made it an interesting race.
What's that?
Hamilton made it interesting.
Yeah, but Leclerc as well. I mean, Leclerc, Verstappen,
Yeah.
Antonelli, Piastri, it was all going on. I actually think one of the best stories of the whole race was the Hadjar recovery drive.
Yeah, that was a really good drive.
And I think it was kind of low-key in a way. I don't think it got much attention.
No, he just suddenly popped up in like 6th.
I mean, the fact that it was partly the team and the car and strategy, but he overtook Norris.
Yeah. Finishing ahead of Norris was, like, insane.
And it was like 7 points behind him. 7 places, I think.
Yeah.
Let's
It was
see
a
if I
very
can-
good drive.
Oh yeah, starting grid. I can actually buy my way around this website.
His 21st, I think, was...
Yeah, you're right. He was 21st. Norris was 13th, so he's 8 places behind.
And he's finished 1 place ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's
pretty good.
It is the way a team should work.
Well, that, and also especially the toe that he gave Max as well.
Yeah, and it was just kind of...
It all just worked.
I noticed what Mekis said was, well, we knew his qualifying situation, so it was worth asking him.
Yeah. It wasn't just like they didn't send him out there with no briefing and told him later on. They properly worked it out from the start.
Yeah, and they didn't order him either.
No?
They were like, oh, would you help? We are in F1.5, by the way, now.
Oh yeah, properly.
Norris was 24 seconds back off the lead, and Bortoleto was 49.
Yeah, 20-second gap from the front to the midfield.
25.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that gap between Norris and Bortoleto would fit the top 7.
Yeah. It's... I think... When did it sort of fall apart, F1 21.5?
I think it was...
2024 wasn't quite as much, was it?
I think it was the bouncy ground effect cars.
Yeah, because even the point... Because, like, random teams would get podiums quite often, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2023. Apart from Max, you had, like... Gasly got that podium and Ocon as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Hungary, we've had to be a bit quick with this because it's already Thursday, so press conferences are happening.
Yeah, God.
And then we'll have to be a bit organised doing a podcast because it's like a proper summer break, so we might...
Yeah.
We'll
have
might
to...
just let it slide.
Yeah. Well, summer break tends to be a time when other things happen, like driver market stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see how things are then, but we could even do a separate, like summer, or like a first half of the season recap podcast.
Yeah.
Where we sort of see what, or there will be a bunch of rookies, I think, at Hungary, it looks like.
Yeah.
5, according to this. Fornaroli, Vesti, Aaron, Hirakawa, again, and Colton Herter.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
I do like that rule, though, that they've got to do it.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a good rule. Right, I think...
Yeah.
I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say thank you for listening. We've had fun, haven't we? I think it was a good race.
It was a good race, yeah, it's fun.
I'm Graham H. Miller. If you look that up, you'll find I write murder mysteries. Toby is official Tibby. If you look him up, you'll find out he plays games on YouTube. How's the channel going?
Pretty good. I need to make more videos, but
Yeah,
not too bad.
That's the nature of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you for listening and goodbye.
Bye.